Hello and welcome to another episode of Issues and Insights. I'm Bryce Shoemate from Hardin County Government, and I know I always tell you all we've got a great show, but we really do, because this month we are celebrating a couple of things that involve our library system, and it is National Family Library. I'm going to mess this up. I've got it already messed up already.
It's literacy.
National Family Literacy Month and National Library Card Sign-Up Month. See, I got the two mixed up. That's why. So, Renee, you didn't coach me
Well, they're
enough
very
to-
similar. They sound alike.
Today I've got sitting with me three lovely ladies that are working not only in our Hardin County Library system, but also in our school system in the libraries system that throughout our Hardin County schools. So I've got Renee Hutchison with me today, who is in charge of Hardin County Library.
Thank you, Bryce.
Free public
Yes, free
library.
public library. And I wanted to talk a little bit about National Library Card Sign-Up Month.
But Renee, tell us who you brought with
And
us
I have
today.
Nan Hildesheim. She is our head of youth services at the library. And Brandy New is she'll have to introduce her title.
Instructional Technology Coordinator for
I'm
Hardin County
learning
Schools.
For Hardin County Schools. And so we're glad to have you all with us today, because we haven't done a show, all three of us, before. So I'm glad that you all are here. And one of the things we want to talk about, Renee, is some great things that these two ladies have got going on that's really cool involving Hardin County schools.
Well, I'll let them tell you the details, but what we're trying to do is get a library card into the hands of all the students in Hardin County. Some of their parents at work or are not able to bring them in to sign them up, because we need parental permission in order for anyone 18 or younger to have a all-access library card. This allows the student to sign up through their school, through their teachers, to get a digital version of our library card so that they can use the overdrive system, which allows them to check out electronic books.
Will this give them all access as well, or only electronic access?
Only electronic access, so they don't have to worry about the book being overdue. There won't be any fines involved, or if the book gets damaged, they won't have to worry about paying for it because it's all electronic.
Yeah, it'd be hard to damage an electronic
Exactly.
book unless you're tearing up your own monitor, right?
And exactly, and when
And
you're
then you don't have anything to play games on. So I mean, then you've really messed it up, right? So.
And another advantage is that when it's due back, it just automatically returns back to the consortium's library, which is Kentucky Libraries Unbound. But Nan and Brandy can tell you more about their point of view from
And
the teachers.
Nan, we've done things together before during the holidays, and so I know who you are, and I know Brandy as well. But tell us what you all have got going on.
Programming-wise, or as far as the card goes?
As far as the card goes.
Okay, so teens are a really hard population for the library to reach. It's hard to get them into the library because they're so busy and they have so much going on in their lives. So when Brandy contacted me asking if we could meet about how to do something together, I was really excited. And she came in like a little ray of sunshine and said, how can we get cards in their hands? And we came up with this digital card idea. And she's going to be able to get the card to all of the kids starting in what schools?
The high schools. We're starting in John, North, and Central first, and then going to do access to middle schools, all the middle schools as well.
So Brandy, how will that work? Will that go through the English classes, or how are you doing this?
Well, each school is kind of up to them, but I think we realize that the kids are on demand, right? They get their TV on demand, they get their, everything for them is on demand. We need their books to be on demand as well. So at the schools, they can pick up a permission slip, probably from librarians, the library media specialists. Some English teachers are going to help us to push it out that way in the classrooms as well. And they just have to fill out a really short form, get a parent signature, they get it back to us, and then they're going to get an email with a digital card number. So then they can access it on their phone, their tablet, a laptop, a computer, anyway.
Because we're all
get their
mobile
print.
now. We're all mobile.
Yes.
So Brandy, is this a unique thing, or did you come up with that, or you seen it somewhere else, or how did y'all?
I think it was organic, maybe in a conversation with the librarian.
We
and then
talked
with
about
you
it a
guys.
year ago.
Kind of
and-
something we've been trying to do for a long time, but it really kind of
You
took.
just need a good partner.
We
We
needed the
took
right
some.
person.
It took some new energy, and so she was able to really.
Oh, she's had energy ever since she was a little girl, trust me. I know, I've watched Brandy grow up, so yes. So now, in doing this, you're hoping, Nan and Brandy, to move this to middle and then eventually to grade school maybe, or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. We're definitely doing high and middle right off the bat, as low down as the kids have access to a device, because in the school system, we're bound pretty heavy by money. I mean, I know you all are too, but this just gives them access to the print and the different things that we have through KYVL, the Kentucky Virtual Library, that we have access to in the public school system. So they're going to have their print books in their library, they're going to have the KYVL stuff from Hardin County Schools in the state, and then now they're also going to have access to even more materials through.
Well, here's a question. Could someday that this actually leads to where they have availability to some of their school books that may be online so that they're able to do some of their homework at home when it snows? You know, that might be something that...
Well, that's kind of my job as instructional technology coordinator in Hardin County Schools anyways. Textbooks money is not something that we invest in anymore, but we do invest in a lot of technology. A lot of our schools are going one-to-one where they have one device for each child, or just having more and more
Awesome.
access in the schools. And that allows you to create your own textbook or make the internet your textbook. It gives the teachers the freedom to do that with the kids. And it's also, I mean, that's where the jobs are. That's the future. Yeah. So it has
sure.
them using those things practically in the classroom.
Everything is IT based now, and I mean,
Sure.
You're right. Spending money on books that you have to replace and get torn up and get lost, this is the way.
Yes, it is. And they can do it at home. They can do the homework, and if they have access, even to a phone. I mean, there's a ton of things that you don't have to have a tablet or a computer to do. You can do it on a phone, on a smartphone.
I read my Overdrive books on my phone.
And that may be how this got started in the conversation, because I read on my phone, as do my teenagers. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what got us thinking, or got me personally thinking in that direction when we met.
And Renee, this builds to where you want people to enjoy reading, not just because they have to do it for schoolwork, but to just have the joy of reading. As we were talking about, we actually made fun of something that Dale Mings was saying behind the camera about, will this card make it so that I can fly? And I said something about, if you get into a book, you can fly and go anywhere you want.
Exactly.
To actually enjoy.
And this came up a couple years ago with a middle school teacher in another county that happened to live here. And he said, is there any way I can sign up my students to get a library card in Hardin County, even though they live somewhere else, so they can use Overdrive during the summer? He was worried about summer slide. Mm-hmm. And I said, I can't allow that, but I can talk to the librarian and strongly encourage them to be part of our consortium. It's a way for over 100 libraries in Kentucky to pool their money so that we can afford to buy these books. These audio books are $85 a piece, and sometimes the print digital, I know that sounds confusing, but the digital books that you read are $45 to $50, and they're expensive. But if all the counties get together and pool their money and buy multiple copies of the most popular titles, then you don't have to wait as long to check out a book.
So the plan and the hope is that this spreads to not only Hardin County, but surrounding counties to be able to pool everything together.
To make it easier for children and students to read. And of course, what we ultimately want is for the student to encourage mom and dad, please come with me one Saturday morning and get a full access library card. That way they can have access to some of our print materials as well.
Now, Brandy, here's a question. Do you, all of your libraries, and I believe you have, 22 schools now?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes,
somewhere
22 or 23.
So, are a lot of your books that the librarians are getting now fall into what Renee just said, that they're available online, or the digital or audio capable?
No, they are print for the most part. The library media centers in the public school system use their money for the print resources, like the print books in the library, and then they also use it for different services and digital accesses and programs and technology. So they're stretched thin on that. We don't have many, if any, libraries in Hardin County right now that are paying for digital subscriptions to books, but we do have the access to the KYVL through the state.
The cool thing with this is that, and I know parents, you're like me, your kids came home and go, I've got a book report due tomorrow. And so now you're going, well, we didn't get a book. So we're able to utilize this to
On
be able to
demand.
do those because we have some of those moments at home when our students, our young people,
Yep.
forget, because we all forget things, it's just part of life. And this will be one of the greatest tools, as I see it, that we can utilize this on. I mean, Renee?
Yeah, we want to supplement education. That's been one of our roles as public library for 50 years. But this is another way we can act as a resource for them, for the parents and for the teachers.
Now, if any of the parents come in and decide that they want to come in and get their children a full access library card, will they be able to use it for what we're talking about, or will we?
Yes.
Or will you have to have two?
We've talked about that. We made plans for that we would change the status of the account from digital only to full access.
Awesome.
It's a very easy transition.
And so several of the parents watching right now may ask, how do I get this done? How do I come in if I decide that I want to get my student, my young person, a full access so that they're able to fully utilize Hardin County's library system? What do they have to do?
Well, they just come into the library. They need to show a driver's license and their current address, and we sign them up for library card. It's that simple. And if they do it during the month of September, it's National Library Card Sign-Up Month. Then they will have an opportunity to enter into a raffle where they can win one of our gift baskets, which is full of fall decorations and books.
Can I do that too?
You can if you want to do that.
I win every
Well.
so often. So, let me ask you this: is there a cost for being able to come in and sign up for a full access
None at all.
card?
No cost at all.
Because that's some of the things that people are sitting there wondering, around, going, "Okay, Bryce, is there a cost other than their time
It takes
coming
5
in?"
minutes to do it.
Awesome, and they're able to do that not only at your branch here in Elizabethtown, but also the branch in Radcliffe as well.
Correct. That's right.
Because either one, if you've got a full access card, it works at both.
And
branches.
sometimes we have special occasions where our outreach department is in the community. They can't physically give you the card because we have to get the barcode and everything on it, but they can take your information and then get the card ready so you can just come and pick it up.
So the bookmobile would not have, that goes around, doesn't have the ability to issue those cards. You'd have to come to one of the branches to get that
Right.
in order to utilize
But the bookmobile can be a first stop if the bookmobile driver, we have a new one by the way, Gary Emberton,
Oh.
started this spring.
Wow.
And whenever he's out doing special
Yeah,
events.
is Gary a retired teacher?
He is.
That's what
He's
I
a retired
thought.
principal as well. Yeah.
And a former coach of
Yeah.
mine.
Yes. Okay. Everybody knows Gary.
Oh yeah, in my age,
He's done a really good job so far, and he did something different this summer geared toward children. A lot of the school principals contacted us and said, we want to be able to do something for summer reading. And so he set up a program. It's called Dive Into Reading, and it was only going to be for 4 elementary schools. He expanded it to 9, so he was
Wow.
stretched pretty thin, still trying to serve all his other regular customers. But the way it worked was he just met the parents in the parking lot, even though the school was closed for summer, with the kids and let the kids get on the bookmobile and check out books, and then he was back 2 weeks later. And so that was a way for those children who don't normally go into our library to still have library books.
Very cool. And that brings that joy to read out to the community if you're not able to come into Hardin County's free public library, because I know as a small child, the bookmobile would come to Vine Grove and we could get on it over by the railroad tracks, Brandy, and we were able to get on it and look, and be able to pick out a book.
That was the big bread truck size bookmobile.
That's right. It
back in
was.
those
It was
days.
huge. Yeah, because you walked in the backside of it and up the steps and in.
Well, Bryce, you may not know, but we have a new outreach vehicle as well. Someone donated a van to our library. It was a 2016 Ford Transit, and we had it wrapped locally. Signorama did a beautiful job with it. And we hired Donna Fole. She's an experienced with early childhood, and she's also experienced with senior citizens. And she's our new outreach librarian. She started around the same time as Gary.
Awesome.
And so she makes 20 stops a week. She does a lot of the traditional child development centers and senior centers, but she was at the pools this summer. She was at Colvin Community Center and at Funtopia with programs and popsicles.
So can people go on the bookmobile and say, I'm looking for such and such book, and when they come back, say the next week or later the month, they have that book for them?
Well, it's even easier than that. They can call the library, or they can hold a book online just using their account with the library. They can reserve a book. Every day we pull the holds in the morning and in the evening.
Very cool.
And so the next time the bookmobile heads to Stevensburg or White Mills, it's time to pull these books for these certain customers, and he has them ready to deliver.
Awesome, awesome. Brandy, I know that John Wright, the PR person for Hardin County Schools, was very excited about the show coming on today. And as Renee said, he was going to blow it up and talk about it. So I know that the school system is excited about you getting this on board as well, correct?
Yes, very much so. Very supportive of it, and our librarians are thrilled.
Good.
Yes, absolutely thrilled. The school librarians, they were like, "What? Why haven't we already done this?" I'm like, "I don't know, but we're doing it now.
Right.
Let's go."
And you know, as far as for high school students, it gives them access also for when they have to write their papers. It gives them some more availability to be able to find that book to help them write that paper,
Because
correct?
it's not just nonfiction. It's not just novels. It's magazines. It's scholarly things. It's nonfiction, and it's picture books. You can do picture books on a device, and people don't realize that.
Graphic novels.
Graphic
Graphic
novels,
novels
and they're
are big.
gorgeous. I mean, it's high quality. So it's any kind of print, digital print.
Is there any kind of app that folks are going to have to download for this to enable them to do this?
You can do it a couple different ways, but we suggest the Libby app, and that's that's what KY Unbound does, right?
Yes, Kentucky Libraries Unbound. It's Overdrive's upgrade, so to
Yes.
speak. Instead of having to download 2 steps with the Overdrive app, you can download Libby. She takes care of it for you.
And so that's available on Apple products and
Yep.
on the other non-Apple
It's
products.
on the
yes.
library. If you go to the library website,
It explain how to do it?
yes, it does. It tells you how to get to Kentucky Libraries Unbound, and the first thing you'll see is Libby's.
And what is the library's website?
It
Because we'll put
is-
this down at the bottom of the screen, you all, so that y'all can see
It's
this.
www.hcpl.info, I-N-F-O.
Okay, again, we'll put that down at the bottom of the screen so that you can figure out, like me, how to get on Libby to be able to get that app and download that to your tablet or your
And if you were to
phone.
have trouble, Bryce, all you have to do is come into the library. I think we have one coming up. We have special technology appointments with the librarian. You can come in even if it's not for Overdrive. If you're having trouble with your phone or you're having trouble with your tablet, you can make an appointment with one of our librarians to help you solve whatever tech issue. It's called a drop-in tech lab.
Are you saying it tech for dummies?
I'm
Is
just
that what
saying,
you're
and I'll reserve a spot for you anytime you
we'll-
want.
The Hardin County Schools website, John Wright will also get up for us on the front page, the main page there, access to where you can, parents can download the permission form that we need.
Oh,
So
awesome.
if they wanted to, they've seen this, they've heard about the program somehow, and their child is maybe the kid who forgets to bring the paper home ever, they'll be able to just click on there, fill it out, sign it, and send it back with us. So we'll have the information, and then how to access Libby as well. I think we're gonna make a video with some of our high school kids walking you through.
That would be
That'd
cool.
How to do
fun.
it.
We'll have to put that on our
Yes.
website.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
eventually, Renee, if you're talking about a parent coming in with an ID and sign them up, will there be someday where you might be able to do this permission slip and substitute that in for the ID, or that's Brandy shaking her head going?
Well,
That's your girl's
we have to have parental permission because a person under the age of 18 is not legally bound to sign a contract. And this is a contract with the library saying you're responsible for the materials.
But this permission slip has to have, do you have to have that, or you said one time that the students could actually have the teacher do that for them?
No, they're going to have a parent's permission from Hardin County Schools. That's the way we would like to run it at this point. They will have to have their parents sign something that says they know that they're getting a digital-only library card.
Okay.
But we
all right.
like that too because, I mean, we want parents to know that,
Yes.
that this resource is available not only to their kids but to them as well. I mean, anybody in Hardin County can download the Libby app. It's not just high school
So
students.
looking at this, I mean, I as I see some of the cheat notes that you've given me, is this offering will be available to Elizabethtown Independent Schools and West
Yes,
Point
we
Schools
plan
as well?
to do to some of the private schools. And of course, the homeschool moms and dads usually don't have any trouble coming in to see us because their time is more flexible. But we want all the children in Hardin County, regardless
mean,
of where they go to school.
Eventually, North Hardin Christian and St. James and some of the other private
Exactly.
schools could come in on this as well.
Right.
This is our practice model right here.
Awesome. Brandy, you're the guinea pig, right?
She is.
All right.
And something else I wanted to point out about Overdrive, some people say I don't have time to read, I enjoy reading magazines. Overdrive now has magazines that you can download. I read about Nick Saban he was on ESPN magazine last week, and it was about the Louisville, Alabama football game, and it was something that I don't subscribe to ESPN magazine, so I was happy
You
to read
had me
that.
at picture books. I mean, I was good.
And audio.
Audio,
yes.
Audiobooks.
And we do check out more audio electronic books than we do print electronic books.
And I know you're going to be surprised at this, but I actually enjoy reading when I have time. My problem is these days I don't have a whole lot of time, so I do enjoy
Audiobooks in the
it.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or working around the
That's what I
house.
do.
yeah. It's kind of hard for me to do that and talk on the radio and do everything at the same time. Not looking at my cell phone, Mom, while I'm driving down the road, but I am talking on the radio a lot of times. So, one of the things, Nan, we wanted to talk about is you've got several other programs that are coming up, because I know you do things for so many young people. I've been involved in when you have things where people come in and read
Right.
and so on. So tell us what's coming up.
Well, we always have programming, basically. Kind of a bunch of seasonal programming that's coming up is our annual book or treat, which we had over 800 people attend last year.
Now, that's not booger treat, that's book or
Book
treat.
or treat,
Okay.
yes.
I wanted to make sure because you said that so fast. I was a little worried there for a
Book
minute.
or treat, no. Actually, we try to get teenagers from the county to come in dressed as book characters, and they kind of wander around the library, and the little kids come and do a scavenger hunt, try to find the characters, and then they get things like bookmarks and candy and that kind of stuff. We also have annual Milk and Cookies with Santa, which is always a big hit.
Like my favorite.
Yeah, but on top of that, I mean, we have all of our regular preschool, baby and me programming, all the traditional story hours. We have a new program with our new elementary school librarian, Miss Becky. She's going to do Art Camp, which is a monthly program with literature-based masterpieces. So this month is Van Gogh Sunflowers, and we read about Van Gogh and Starry Night and all that kind of stuff. And then next month is going to be Autumn Kaleidoscopes. So it's collaborative process art. So we're really excited about that. And we had over 90 people interested in that, and we had to limit registration, unfortunately.
And you and I with our horticulture degree,
Yes.
one of the cool things is that the State Highway Department has planted a couple of huge sunflower patches this year, a couple here in Elizabethtown. So
Yes.
that's really cool when you start talking about these, as far as I'm concerned. I mean,
Yeah, well, I know that is.
That is cool, yeah. But we also have a children's garden, speaking of horticulture, that we are also very active with. We have pumpkin painting. This year we planted a pollinator garden, so we went on a bug safari, and that's in collaboration with the Elizabethtown Garden Club. So
and I know
we stay
Hugo
busy.
Davis helped you from Bluegrass Lawn and Garden Center, helped you with some things as well over there when you all were establishing all
Yes.
that.
Right.
So, very cool. And since we're talking about that, I know that you have, Renee, a 501c3 group, the Friends of the
The
Library.
Friends of the Library, yes, they're very active. They do 2 book sales each year, one in the fall, it's coming up next month, and one in the spring. But they recently achieved 501c3 status, which is important because now people can give donations and have a tax break for doing
Well,
that.
and nowadays when we're strapped for funds all together, we do a lot with what little bit of money we do. I mean, it's great to have people that will help you do these types of things.
Well, there
that
are
you
some
do.
grants that I've applied for, and I had to stop because one of the first questions is, what is your 501c3? And libraries aren't allowed to have one. So our Friends group was strongly encouraged to do that, and that helps us apply for more funds that we can use for other
And I know
things.
that from my law enforcement days, I had to have a 501c3 and had to piggyback off of other people's 501c3 as partners. I call it piggyback, but we were actually partners, and that makes a great
Yeah,
deal
that's-
that you all got that to do.
It does, it helps us.
So, some of these things that are going on, I'm assuming that this is on your all's website as well, correct?
Yes.
And the website again is?
HCPL.info.
And we'll put that down at the bottom of your screen so that y'all can see that. And we also link to their website from Hardin County Government's website, which is hcky.org. And you can link over and go to their website off of our county website as well. Ladies, I know there's all kinds of things we could talk about today, but want to include this in. If folks have some questions and want to call in, what would be the phone number of both Elizabethtown and the Radcliffe branch?
Our main library is 270-769-6337.
And we'll put that down at the bottom of the screen. That's the main Elizabethtown library. In Radcliffe?
Is 351-9999.
And that's an easy one to remember. So we'll put that down. Brandy, have you got anything that you want to get out that you've got going on besides the electronic card?
You didn't warn me that question was coming.
That's all right.
No, nothing on this topic that I can think of.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, I know that you're growing, you're building your program as we speak, and so I know that we will have you in here again to talk about some more things that I know I expect big things from you. So I know that no expectations there whatsoever.
No, for sure.
But I know that you'll have some great things coming on because we're only building more and more on this IT-based network that we have, the big IT-based network that we all have. So I'm so glad that you all partnershiped in doing this because this is a really cool program. So thank you all for joining us today, and we look forward to all of the programs that y'all got going on. Look forward to Book or Treat. And you know what? We need to get the folks dressed up to Book or Treat for all of the trunk or treats that we've got going on around town. Maybe we can build some excitement in the library by having them come to the trunk or treat.
Well, we had over 800 last year, so we was standing room only. But we had the children are dressed and the teenagers are dressed up, and the best part is the kids get to pick out whatever book they want that's been donated and take it home with them. Some of them were more excited about the book than they were the candy.
Awesome. Thank you all for joining us today on Hardin County Educational and Community TV, where we try to keep you informed on what's going on in this great community that we call Hardin County, but more especially what's going on in your students' life in the Hardin County school system. I'm Bryce Shoemate, along with the lovely ladies from the Hardin County Public and Free Library, and also Brandy New from Hardin County Schools. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned. We'll keep you up to date.